Oops. Oops, when he said that yesterday he wouldn't start super late to stream tonight. What he actually meant was I will start even later. So that's my bad. Welcome to the stream of the stream. Let's just get right into it. I had to position my mic differently. You know what? It's fine. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Load right into it. We're just gotta get right to reading. Get me in, load me in. We'll see how long we can go tonight. It might not be as long as I originally planned when I said it yesterday, but we'll see. We might just get another hour, an hour and a half. I apologize. Things keep popping up. Things pop up, I do things. Then I look down at the time. Oops, it's late. Basically how it works. Okay. Well, it's fine. You know what? Maybe I'll make it up. Maybe we'll do a lot of reading this weekend. Who knows? And then the fated day arrived. As Chisato-chan expected, the time came early in the week. I don't know how many hundreds of times I sighed like that today. Every time Tomoko-chan and I'm gonna lower the mic even more, sorry if it makes a noise. Great. Every time Tomoko-chan and Chisato-chan would provide me with encouragement, but it did nothing to restore my vitality. It was like trying to draw water using a bucket with a hole in it. I remember, this is about the test. And things. Come on, relax. You're fully prepared for this. There's nothing to worry about. But will I really be okay? You're thinking too hard about this. If you're quick, it'll be over in about 5 minutes. I think it won't take too long. I hope that's the case. Come on now, don't be timid. This is like a rite of passage toward becoming an adult. From a pupa to a butterfly, from a girl to a woman. So knock that sucker out of the park. Says the one who exaggerates everything. Right. As usual, Chisato-chan got carried away with the excitement and Tomoko-chan expressed it with her sharp retorts. However, unlike usual, I don't have the composure to interrupt. That was right. Today was the first day of career meetings, my first since I transferred to the school, or more accurately, the first of my life. It's an important personal interview to direct my future. Oh, it's not like a test? My bad. For a while now, I've been unable to stop sighing. Yesterday, on Sunday, I was glad to have Chisato and Tomoko providing me with all sorts of advice. At the same time, it's because I've been faced with the reality of how little I've been taking my own future seriously. Did I read that right? I've been faced with the reality of how little I've been taking my own future seriously. Okay. Heck, until yesterday, I didn't even know the university had different departments where you learn different subjects. The only thing I understood was the value of my test scores. And these two were quite shocked to hear how little I knew about entrance exams. But on the other hand, it also meant it was a good idea to prepare with the two of them. If I needed the teacher to explain everything to me, she would have scolded me for being so ignorant. I seriously would have been in dead shock. Of course, I know that won't be any comfort. Hey, let's cheer up and get it done, Natsumi. Life won't get started if you spend it all worrying, you know? No, you're the one who needs to worry a little more. Though you could survive even if the Earth was destroyed, Natsumi is delicate. I think I like her. I think she's a fun character. She's nice. She's a nice balance in this friend group, I would say. Don't compare people to cockroaches. Besides, Chisato-chan stopped making a fuss when she noticed how tense and rigid I was. And Tamako-chan, who noticed as well, shrugged with a bitter smile and gently smacked my shoulder, then spoke. You'll be okay, Natsumi. This meeting is your opportunity to discuss the things that you can't deal with on your own. So there's nothing to stiffen up about. But my grades and physical capabilities are below average. As for what I want to do in life. Please take it easy. Even I haven't decided my path ahead. And if you fret, then what'll happen to the one with the surprised face over here? She'll despair over her future and commit seppuku here, won't she? Oh, whoa, whoa. That was totally uncalled for, Tama-san. Who are you calling the one with the surprised face here? I never said a word about you. Or did you realize it on your own? Chisato-chan fell down, clutching her chest. While watching, I finally realized the two of them were trying to cheer me up by making this exchange more over the top than usual. Such good friends. Oh, right. I'll give you something special, Natsumi. Take this. Huh? What is this? Tamako-chan handed me a crimson manicure nail kit. It was the same color that she had painted on the tips of her white feet that I'd seen back in PE class. Is this okay, Tamako-chan? Isn't this expensive? It's fine. You wanted it, right? I have plenty, so consider this your lucky charm, okay? After saying that, Tamako-chan giggled and winked at me. I felt a bit embarrassed that she noticed my fixation back then, but my joy from her show of consideration trumped that. I clutched the small box tightly. Thank you. Make sure you don't let the teacher find out about it. Camouflage it like me. Yeah, got it. My very first manicure. My heart lit up. I had a little bit of fashion sense, but I never caught anyone's eye. It was a small step, but being able to put on adult makeup made me happy. Oh, but I have to keep this a secret from Mom. Mom doesn't think highly of the fashionable habits I picked up since I came to the city. Seems she's worried it will lead me to delinquency. Her suspicions may be ill-founded, but it's probably better to keep it secret for the time being. And I should absolutely avoid telling Grandma. You look like a child from far away. Can't forget Grandma's expression while she muttered that. I'm just having a little fun, so I don't want to make Grandma feel uncomfortable. But where should I hide it? A place that both Mom and Grandma would be unable to find it? How about inside my desk drawer? Since I was little, I would hide my treasures in my drawer. It's locked with a key. Can't force it open no matter what. Somehow, I began to enjoy the feeling of having a little secret. Thanks to the compassion these two have shown me, for the moment they've made my heavy heart feel lighter. After school, time for my personal interview finally came. Then I'll be waiting in the classroom. Relax. Good luck, Natsumi. Yeah. I'll do my best. While feeling the cheers of Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan on my back, my trembling hands grabbed the door of the career consultation room. First, I took a deep breath. Fusu. Calm my mind. Okay, let's go. When I knocked on the door with a loud tap tap, I heard the teacher reply, "Come in," from inside. Excuse me. My heart pounding, I opened the door. I heard the high-pitched echo of the door rail. The career consultation room was rather cramped. My homeroom teacher, Ogata-sensei, was sitting in the back of the room on the other side of the petition screen and looking face down, writing something in the notes spread out at her desk. Right, left, right, left. I was feeling tense. Both my hands were shaking. Moving like a robot, I finally reached the teacher.
どうぞ、そこに座って。
Please, sit there.
はい。
Yes. After awkwardly taking a seat, I faced Ogata-sensei. Almost at the same time, she finally raised her face from the document, then began to speak in a clinical tone. I saw my picture laying upside down on the files spread out on the desk, which meant my report card was probably there. I was curious about what was written in there, but I was a bit scared to look.
では、君吉夏美さん。
So, Natsumi Kimiyoshi-san.
面談を始めましょうか。
Let's start your interview.
よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. I deeply bowed my head. After all my friends did to support me, I still couldn't relax. Back in Okinomiya, while we didn't have to bother with the interviews, every teacher was approachable enough to ask questions for advice in the staff room during breaks. I guess since the number of students was smaller, there were more opportunities to talk with the teachers, so I think that my teachers knew me pretty good as well. Oh, I thought I double-clicked, but I wanted to make sure I didn't skip something. But since there are so many students in class at the school, I don't speak much with the teacher. Plus, Ogata-sensei rarely got angry, but she was the kind of teacher who made a clear distinction between public and private spaces. Thus, it was difficult to talk to even her in the staff room. Honestly, I wasn't good at dealing with her. But more than that, the biggest reason I couldn't wipe away my anxiety was my own attitude towards the future. Certainly, Chisato-chan taught me a lot about the trends, sorry, I'm getting distracted by something. The trends of the school and undergraduate programs popular even in our class. But all of them seemed impossible to imagine. None of them seemed like attractive goals to strive for. So, even if I'm lucky enough to pass, what will I do? Wait, that says what I will do. Okay, not only am I getting distracted, but also the text is what I will do. My doubts and hesitation parched my throat in tandem with the sense I was out of place. My words had an unnecessary stiffness that made it difficult to let them out. I tightly clenched my fists on my knees. I shouldn't be thinking about this. Chisato-chan and Tomoko-chan stayed late yesterday to help me, so I need to face this with a firm attitude to honor their compassion.
まずは君吉さん。
First of all, Kimiyoshi-san.
先週提出の進路表には何も書いていなかったようですが。
It seems that you did not write anything on the career survey submitted last week.
今目指している学校とか何かやりたいことはありますか？
But what about now? Is there anything you would like to do or a school you're aiming for?
はい。
Oh, yes. I breathed lightly to calm myself down, then pulled out the words I had prepared in advance.
できれば外国語を習得できるような大学に進学できればと考えています。
If possible, I hope to go to university where I can learn foreign languages.
外国語。
Foreign languages.
それは英語ですか？
Do you mean English?
はい。
Yes.
これからは国際的な交流がどの職業でも大切な業務になると言われています。
They say that from now on, international communication will be an important task in any occupation.
ですから外国語、特に英語の技能をしっかりと身につけていきたいと思います。
So I'd like to become proficient in foreign languages, especially English.
国際的というと随分と幅広い話ですが。
International communication is quite a broad subject, though.
例えばそれはどんな職業ですか？
So, for example, what kind of occupation are you talking about? Alright, Ogata. Sensei. Fuck you. I answered your fucking question. Don't tell me how it's broad. Just let me do it.
はい。私のお父
Just
さん
take the answer and accept it. Yes, Dad.
じゃなかった。父が商社に勤めていますので、海外での商取引を中心にした仕事がしたいと思っています。
I mean, my father works for a trading company, so I'd like to do business involving overseas business transactions. This was the advice Chisato-chan gave me. Even if you haven't decided what you want to do, bringing up examples of familiar people and saying you aim to be like them will probably be convincing. And that advice was excellent. Ogata-sensei listened to me and gave me a better look with a little bit more interest in her eyes.
なるほど。
I see.
ちなみに大学としてはどこを考えていますか？
By the way, which university are you thinking of attending? While recalling the material I reviewed yesterday, I told her the name of the university my friends recommended. While listening to my story, Ogata-sensei wrote something on the paper attached to my file. The writing was small and upside down, so I couldn't read it from here.
なるほど。
I see.
定期試験の成績も徐々に上がってきているみたいですね。
Seems that your grades on the regular exams are improving.
最初は理数系にかなり不安があったようですが、いい傾向だと思います。
At first, you seemed to struggle with science and math, but I think this is a good trend.
途中転入で大変だったでしょうが、よく頑張りましたね。
Though it must have been hard to transfer in the middle of the year, you did your best.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Though she spoke in a clinical tone, I was being praised, so I felt relieved. For the time being, thanks to Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan's advice, I was at least able to answer the questions without getting stuck on the words. I owed that to the both of them, so I mentally thanked them. However,
ただ、君吉さん。
only Kimiyoshi-san. Huh?
はい。
Yes?
もしこの大学に進学したいのだとしたら、
Even if you want to go on to this university.
今の成績ではちょっと、ね。
With your current grades, it's a bit of a stretch. Alright, fuck you, number 2, to this teacher. Huh? And then, Ogata-sensei pulled another file out from beneath the first one and spread it out for me. There were various graphs drawn there. My grades were listed there along with a list of university acceptance scores. Oh. Compared to the scores next to the names of the university there, my grades were in the place marked D and E. All of them, including the university and department I named.
でも
But
今の成績なら十分圏内だって私
if my current grades are good enough, I...
君吉さんが志望した大学は最近人気が集まって昨年よりも競争率が高くなっているんです。
Oh, this is... I mean, it's a story, right? It's a fictional story, but for some reason it's so devastating to read. The university that you proposed is getting popular recently, so competition is stronger than last year.
それにここは特殊な入試内容で、特に英数は教科書以外の範囲が出ることも多いから、合格ラインも公表より高くなっています。
What's more, requires a special entrance exam, and the questions on English and math in particular are often beyond what's in the textbooks, so the acceptance line is getting higher than the published one.
だから内部進学者でもない限り、今からだと相当勉強しないと難しいでしょうね。
So since you don't go to the affiliated high school, it would be very difficult for you to get in without the appropriate amount of studying from now on.
そんな
That's... strange. It's strange. Things I never learned in class will be asked on the entrance exams. I'm so glad, dude, when I transitioned from high school to university, like, I'm so glad I had no problem about really, applying to... Like, I remember, man, looking back, I was really dumb with my process, but, like, I was so set on doing and accomplishing a certain thing. I ended up going to school out of state, and I kind of, like, that was what I always talk about, like, that was my reset in life when I left behind, 17 and younger me, kind of burned all bridges and then kind of, like, restarted my life. Moving states away and everything. So the act of me actually like applying, and then I got it. I literally only applied to one school. Got in, had decent enough grades and everything. Bada bing, bada boom. The only difficulty ended up coming, not getting accepted was easy. The actual like moving states away and the whole, there was like some snafu with like the financial aid thing that basically I was figuring out. The financial aid thing was such an annoyance to, like, finalize. Up to, like, the date, to the point where things weren't finalized, and I was in the car with my dad, and we were driving there to move in states away, and, like, I had to finalize things on, like, the way there. It was so... like, I remember there being, like, packing up the car with as much as we could, like a rental car, a big car of just my things, and we decided to drive there. Again, states away, like 16 hours away. I think straight drive, if that's what we did. That is what we did. And me just being... and I think getting in the car and the final thing my mom saying to me is like, there's a chance if this doesn't work out, like, You're gonna have to just turn right back around. And I'm like, if that happens, me thinking I'm gonna continue schooling, and then just have to turn around if things like it was a whole big fucking mess. I don't look. That summer was tumultuous, tumultuous to say the least. Oh god, what a nightmare. Things I never learned in class will be asked on the entrance exams. Then, even if I take school seriously and listen well, it's all pointless, isn't it? Even though I was trying hard to catch up with everyone.
君吉さんのご家庭では受験浪人についてご理解がありますか?
Kimiyoshi-san, would your family be willing to understand that you can always take the entrance exam again a year later?
いえ、
No, my words are vague, but I'm sure my thoughts are plain to see on my face. Ogata-sensei gently turned her eyes and ran her pen across my file. Mom wants me to go to a nice university, but she means one that I can get into on the first try. If I tell her I'll be aiming to pass the second time around, I'm sure she'll be concerned about appearances and oppose it. Besides, my family doesn't have the money to send me to prep school either.
それなら君吉さん、
In that case, Kimiyoshi-san,
もう少し合格ラインを下げてこの辺りなんてどうですか?
what if you set your sights lower and try aiming for one of these schools?
ここならもう少し頑張ればきっと大丈夫ですよ。
If you work a little harder, I'm sure they'll accept you. After she said that, the teacher turned the page over and pointed to clown school. No, they're all junior colleges, and very far from home. Even if I can enroll, the tuition and boarding fees will be tremendous.
ここはちょっとお母さんたちも。
Well, I don't think my family would.
何も進学だけではないですよ。
Higher education isn't your only option.
就職する子もいるし、いろんな方面に進む子もいます。
Some people go straight into the workforce, while others branch out in many different fields.
君吉さんは何かやりたいことはありますか?
Kimiyoshi-san, do you have something you want to do? She said it in a calm tone, but the cruel words she said were like being splashed with cold water. I was losing my composure. I was trembling more than when I came into this room.
やりたいことは別に。
No, not really.
君吉さんは地方からの転入組の遅れを挽回して本当によく頑張っていると思います。
Kimiyoshi-san, I think that you're doing really well, trying to recover from the lag of transferring to new area.
でも大学受験の競争率は年々上昇する傾向にあります。
However, the competition rate of university entrance examinations tends to rise every year.
志望校に合格したいのでしたらこれからはより一層頑張らないといけませんよ。
If you'd like to attend the school of your choice, you'll have to work harder from now on, okay?
はい。
Understood. The teacher sighed faintly in response to my feeble answer while adjusting her glasses. Was she exasperated with me? Not that I could blame her. No matter how you look at me now, I was a spoiled brat who couldn't accept reality.
ところで勉強以外に何か好きなものありますか?
By the way, aside from studying, do you have something else you like?
例えばスポーツとか。
Such as sports?
運動苦手なんです。
I'm no good at exercise. Of course, that's a field that requires natural talent, so it's not a field you can just work your way towards with the sudden turn of a hat. Seemed like the teacher, thought she might have gone too far and brought up that subject to cushion the blow, but right now it came off as an insult. That hurts. No. I was growing more and more disgusted with my lack of redeeming qualities. The teacher turned the document over again and began tapping the desk with her fingertips. I started to worry about every move she made, and my body grew stiffer by the moment. A rubbing sound as she flipped through the pages accumulated like a lump in the back of my ear, growing unpleasant. I feel like I've heard this sound somewhere. That's right, it was...
美術とか芸術系はどうですか?
How about visual arts or performing arts?
隣のクラスの東堂くんのように陸王大学の推薦で美術を頑張る生徒もいますよ。
Some students, like Todo-kun in the other class, are pursuing art with the endorsement of Rikuo University. Rikuo... Huh? Right, then, the teacher's tongue unexpectedly slipped, letting me know the school Todo-kun was applying to. Rikuo University. I know that name. When I was reading the course guidance yesterday, I stopped on that page because I thought that the school building was very beautiful.
まあ、今のはあくまで一例ですが、
Well,
進路には他にもいろんな道があります。
Well, that one was just an example, but there are many other paths you can take.
だから気を落とさないで頑張ってみてください。
So don't be discouraged and do your best.
あ、他にも。
Oh, also... However, after that, any words of comfort or suggestions from my teacher went through one ear and came out the other. As soon as I heard Todo-kun's name and his chosen path, my disappointment turned into despair. If wishes could come true, I'd like to go to the same school as Todo-kun. It would be wonderful if that could be my goal. Wait, just because she's into that person? Is that it? Girl, do not choose your school just because you want to be next or be close in proximity to someone. What a disaster. That's like a top rule. Don't do that. Especially here where it's like Japanese culture, like very serious, like, hey, this is like your path to the rest of your life starts here. Don't do it. But reality is not so sweet. The school Todo-kun is aiming for offers ordinary courses in addition to the art courses, but the level is fairly high, and with my grades, they would turn me away at the door. Oh, what if this whole arc is just her learning how to do art? That would be cool. I doubt it, but that would be cool. She's like, all right, time for me to learn how to do art, buddy. No matter how hard I try, I absolutely can't get in. So a few years from now, Todo-kun and I will go our separate ways. After graduation, I won't be able to see him. If that happens, I'll likely never see him again. And I will never find another boy I'm ever attracted to ever again. Why? Why was I born and raised in Hinamizawa? If I had lived in this town from the beginning, I'm sure I would be doing my best at studying. Even the crowds wouldn't scare me at all. And I would be more fashionable. I could jump into Chisato-chan's conversations without hesitation. I'd be even happier. So, why? I heard something in my ear. The sound of scraping paper every time the teacher flipped through the document. Oh, you're back. Natsumi? When Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan noticed me, they ran over with their eyes wide open. I must have entered the classroom looking like the world had just ended. What's wrong, Natsumi? Were you touched somewhere? What the hell? Why would you say stop? Please don't go there. So, how was it? I silently shook my head. Then, everything came crashing down and huge tears began pouring from my eyes. Natsumi? Hold on. Seriously? That damn hag! Natsumi, what did she say to you? Wait! Hold on, Chisato. Unlike earlier, Chisato-chan's eyes widened with genuine rage as she attempted to storm out of the classroom. But Tamako-chan grabbed her by the arm just in time and blocked her way. Get out of my way, Tamako! That cold-blooded woman's been pissing me off for ages now. Calm down, Chisa. Do you think barging in shouting will solve anything? But... That's enough. I couldn't bring myself to say anything more, so I hung my head. My eyes welled with tears again at the thought of how pathetic and unpleasant I was. Natsumi? Chisato-chan gently embraced me, without any of her usual playfulness. Because of our height difference, my head was resting on her chest. Chisato-chan smelled very nice. Have you calmed down? Yeah. Sorry. I blew my nose on a tissue that Tamako-chan handed me, then finally raised my head. I've been crying for a while without saying anything, and my friend stayed beside me the whole time. Sheesh. Gata doesn't have any ounce of mercy, does she? She could really work on her bedside manner. Well, she probably believes that a teacher needs to be harsh to motivate their students.
私たちは高校受験前の塾とかで慣れっこだったから別にいいんだけどさ。
Though, we were used to that sort of thing since we dealt with cram school and since before our high school entrance exams, so we could take it.
つうか、試験が授業内容の範囲外ってどういうことよ。
What's all that crap about the exam covering material they don't teach us?
そこまで行くともはやクイズ番組の世界でしょうが。
I might as well throw you all on a quiz show instead.
内部進学者を有利にするための救済措置でしょうね。
It's probably a relief measure to give their own prep students an advantage.
裏口入学よりは健全だと思うけど。
Though I think it's still more wholesome than bribing your way into school.
けどさ、
But, oh,
ごめん、夏美。
sorry, Natsumi.
私の甘い見立てであんたに嫌な思いさせちゃった。
My naive outlook has hurt you. After saying that, Chisato-chan brought her hands together and apologized. Huh?
そんな千里ちゃんは悪くないよ。
Chisato-chan, you haven't done anything wrong.
私が甘かったのは事実なんだもの。
It's a fact that I was naive.
いや、これは間違いなく私が悪い。
No, this is definitely my fault.
結構自信持って進めたんだけど、私が調査不足だった。
I made those recommendations like I knew my stuff, but I didn't give you your prep my all.
本当にごめんね。
I'm really sorry.
そうだね。
That's right.
私も去年の資料で知ったかぶりしてた。
I acted like I knew everything just because of last year's data.
夏美のフォローのつもりだったのに役に立てなかったね。
I thought I was giving you a hand, but I was no help at all, was I? Even Tamako-chan's shoulders are slowly drooping. Seeing the two of them trying to be considerate of someone like me made me feel guilty, but more than that, I was grateful for them.
もういいの。
That's enough.
ありがとう。千里ちゃん、たまこちゃん。
Thank you, Chisato-chan, Tamako-chan.
私これから頑張る。
I'll do my best from now on.
ちょっとショックだったけど、まだ受験まで時間があるんだし。
It was a bit of a shock, but there's still time until the exam, right?
夏美。
Natsumi. Yeah, that's right. If I stay depressed forever, it'll hurt Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan. So, I did my best to give them a smile. I don't want to be any more of a nuisance to my loving friends.
よーし、
Alright,
それでこそ私の夏美だ。
that's my Natsumi.
ちいちゃんは嬉しいぞ。
Chi-chan is feeling better. What? Boink. Chisato-chan pulled me in with both arms, hugging me while there was no tomorrow. Chisato-chan, I know you're happy, but it hurts. It's painful. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, you know.
いやいや、さすがは私の自慢の夏美だね。
Now that's my pride and joy.
まさに保護者冥利に尽きるってやつだよ。
I feel truly blessed to be your guardian.
ちょっと千里、
Hold on, Chisato.
あんたいつから夏美の保護者になった？
When did you become Natsumi's guardian?
しかも何気なく所有権主張してるんじゃないっての。
And you claimed ownership of her so casually at that.
夏美の愛はたとえあんたでも止められないのさ。
Not even you can stop our love.
悔しかったら奪ってごらん。
You mad? Then take her for yourself.
ほらほら。
Come on.
はあ、そうですか。
Is that right?
てへい。
Ah! Yeah. Just when I thought I heard a cheerful shriek above me, Chisato-chan let me go and fell flat on the floor. Turned around to find Tamako-chan holding two dictionaries stacked on top of each other.
まったく、いくらなんでも悪乗りしすぎだっての。
Sheesh. Get how you feel, but you seriously got too carried away.
まあ、それはさておき。夏美、
Well, that aside, Natsumi?
Oh.
Huh? Oh. Tamako-chan took my hand and gently wrapped it in her warm hands. Come to think of it, this is the first time Tamako-chan held my hands like this.
たまこちゃん。
Tamako-chan.
この町って以前の夏美の住んでたところとは生活のリズムが違うから大変だろうけど、
You may be struggling
私
to
は一応あんたの味方だからね。
You may be struggling to keep up with the best of city life, but just know I've got your back.
今日みたいに失敗して迷惑かけちゃうかもしれないけど、 困ったことがあったら何でも相談してよ。
You may fail and have spots of trouble like today, but you're welcome to talk any problems you have over with me, okay? Yeah. I also smiled and nodded, my hands still being held by both her hands. They were really gentle, reassuring, and warm. Those two were my best friends.
ありがとう、たまこちゃん。
Thank you, Tamako-chan.
ってこらタマコ、
Hey, Tamako!
美味しいところを取っていくんじゃないっての。
Don't go stealing a show.
奪っていけって言ったのはあんたでしょうが、千里。
Weren't you the one who told me to take her for myself, Chisato?
夏美のことが好きなのはあんただけじゃないんだからね。
You're not the only one who likes Natsumi. Nya.
なら私はこうしてやる。
And I'll have to do this.
うりゃ
Urya! What?
こら
Chisa, hey. Yeah. So I can't worry them anymore. I'll do the best I can and smile. I think that's the only way I can repay my wonderful friends.
というわけで
Now with that all said and
これ
done,
から街に繰り出そう。
let's go out to the city.
久しぶりにパーッと遊んじゃおうよ。
We'll let loose and have the most fun we've had in a while.
あんたは年中遊びほうけているでしょうが。
You've been playing around all year,
でもそれもいいかもね。
but that might be nice.
いいでしょ、夏美。
What do you think, Natsumi? Yeah. I nodded energetically, doing as much as I could to shake off my dark feelings from a minute ago. I need to seriously consider the future. However, I think it's just as important to nurture friendship during my one and only high school experience. Yeah, that's right. I still don't know what I want to do, but it would make me very happy if I could stay friends and have fun with Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan forever. I was all alone, sitting at my seat in the classroom. Tamako-chan apparently needed to run errands, so she left school early. I decided to wait for Chisato-chan, who went to buy stationery at the school store. Once she came back, we would go meet with Tamako-chan at the station. I looked up at the clock on the wall. There was still plenty of time.
それにしても千里ちゃん、別に購買部で買わなくても。
Still, Chisato-chan didn't really need to buy from the school store. I know I've already told her she could get it at a stationery store in town, but at the time, Chisato-chan just raised her fist, got up in my face, and said,
学校の購買部の方が2割ほど安い。
The school store sells it about 20% cheaper.
こんな恩恵を無駄にしてどうしようというのだ、少年よ。
That'd be wasting these benefits, boy. But I'm a girl. Still, for the daughter of a major hospital director, Chisato-chan can be oddly stingy sometimes. And that's why I was waiting for her in the classroom. Since I had some alone time, I rested my head on the desk. My eyes caught a glimpse of something on the shiny desk, and I turned to look at it.
落書き。
Oh, graffiti. Moving my eyes in close, the characters on the corner of the desk became clear enough to read. This must have been written by the student sitting here.
登るとら。
To and Ra?
あいあい傘かな。
Are they sharing an umbrella? I can hardly read the name. To be honest, I'm not interested in others' romance stories. Really, I don't have the time to waste on such things at the moment. A whole lot happened after school today. I got depressed, cried, and laughed. Wow, what a busy day it's been. I got depressed. Thanks to that, my body was screaming with exhaustion. Actually, I felt much more exhausted mentally, so couldn't even bring myself to move. Been sighing a lot recently. They say that when you sigh, a little happiness escapes you every time. But if that's true, I wonder if I've exhausted an entire lifetime of happiness today.
ダメだよ、このままじゃ。
This is no good.
二人の応援に応えるためにも頑張らなくちゃ。
I have to do my best to live up to the support my friends gave me. I muttered that to myself as I propped my elbows on the desk and lifted my head. Even bravado is better than nothing. I'd like to spend the rest of the day repaying Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan, then go back home and sleep all night. I don't think about all this starting tomorrow and try my hardest. It's a much more positive mindset than moping around all day. Just then, I heard the sound of a door opening. I looked back, thinking it was Chisato-chan. Huh? It's the boy. But the person I saw there was Toro-kun.
東堂くん。
Toro-kun? Toro-kun was hesitant to enter the classroom, and he was looking down with his lips pursed. For some reason, his clenched fists were lightly shaking. Is something the matter? Toro-kun looks angry. That's right. I remember. I ran into Toro-kun the other day, right after I left the care and welfare center. When he saw me, he was really surprised. He looked as though he had seen something he was not meant to see. The school's rules prohibit students from holding part-time jobs. Of course, there are students who work secretly, but apparently they're treated like delinquents and strictly punished when they're discovered. Since Toro-kun looks so serious, maybe he came to warn me about that before it caused problems? But how do we break the ice? If I turn upon him, he won't have any reason to blame me, so I shouldn't have to apologize and I can deny everything. But I can't do that to Toro-kun, and even if he scolds me for doing a bad thing, that's better than him thinking I'm a bad person. It's no good. When I look at Toro-kun, I feel like my indiscretion is written all over my face. If I let my guard down even a bit, I get the sense that words will come spilling out. Every time I see and think of Toro-kun, it makes me feel happy, and my true feelings for him come welling from deep, deep in my heart. I know this is our third stream of this arc. Did I put to words that, like, I would not be surprised if, like, the outcome of this arc, like, I've talked about how, Chisato and her obsession with the main character, I think is more than just a playful, funny undertone to the story. Like, I would not be surprised if it takes, like, a dark turn in some sense. And if our main character here, Natsumi, is showing feelings for this guy, does it, like, rear its ugly head if Chisato's like, well, this guy is standing in between this person? Like, what if we go that route? Is that what we're gearing up for? Can't help but think. If I could tell him, if I could do that, But I didn't have the courage to say anything more, so the awkward silence continued. Toro-kun remained silent as well, still looking at the ground. I want to say something, but I can't. I want to tell him, but I can't. Though I was happy beyond belief to have this opportunity to see Toro-kun so closely and talk with him, my throat froze from the anxiety, embarrassment, and my cowardly desire not to disappoint him. Hey, Toro-kun, please say something. Anything is fine. Even warning me about my part-time job is fine. I can apologize for it, and then we can start talking. But I can't make the first step. Please give me a chance to respond to your words. Please. Yes? It was hard to breathe, like there was heavy air spreading throughout my chest. My heart was pounding faster. Both my palms were sweating heavily. The silence grew heavy, and I felt overwhelmed. My field of vision was steadily getting narrower. If I stay still like this, I'm really going to collapse. What should I do? What should I do? This isn't good. I can't take it anymore. Kimio...
これからね、千里ちゃんとたまこちゃんとね、お買い物に行くんだけどね。
I'm about to go shopping with Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan.
でもね、お小遣い少ないから見るだけで全然買えないんだけどね。
But since I don't have much of an allowance, I just end up window shopping since I can't buy anything.
ね。だけど
But about the other day,
この前のセンターで会ったのはアルバイトじゃなくて、
when I met you at the center, it wasn't a part-time job.
なんていうか知り合いのお手伝いで。
I was, how do you say, helping an acquaintance. What am I talking about? I rambled on incoherently, unable to control the flow of my words. Felt less like I was rambling to defend myself and more like I wanted to drown out my guilt. However, So that's why, well... After that, Totokun gave me a strange look. Faced with his stare head on, I earnestly made an effort to rein my words in and close my mouth. It was almost magical. No matter how panicked I was ashamed of myself for trying to resort to excuses. It made me want to disappear. So I gave up and resolved myself to tell him the truth.
Todo-kun.
Totokun.
私介護福祉センターでアルバイトしてて
I've been working part-time at the Care and Welfare Center. Okay.
お母さんとお父さんの結婚記念日がもうすぐなの
My mom and dad's wedding anniversary is coming up soon.
それで二人にプレゼントを買ってあげたいなって
So I wanted to buy a present for them. I know I'm gonna say something that sounds really dumb or whatever, or lame, whatever, but like, she has this fantasy about this guy, right? But she's also nervous that because he caught her at the hospital, and he maybe knew that she was working a part-time job, that she could get in trouble if he reported her, right? But like, shouldn't she not be worried about that? Because if her perfect vision of this guy is then ruined by the fact that he's like a tattletale, or would like rat her out, wouldn't that shatter her vision of him and she'd be like, you know what? I shouldn't be obsessed with this guy. Not anything to worry. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that an instant way to weed out if this guy, like, you should be investing all your heartfelt emotions into? Like, I know, it's whatever. It's a high school girl or whatever, so whatever. Rationality doesn't make much sense or anything, I guess, in the story. Or, you know, but why am I trying to bring rationale into it? But, like, to me, if I'm, like, so concerned, he would be like, he would have a problem that he caught me working a part-time job. And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking rat you out. Then if I was Natsumi, I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy actually sucks. Never mind. Now I can just worry about everything else that's going wrong in my life. So yeah, my mom and dad's wedding anniversary is coming up soon, so I wanted to buy a present for them.
だから学校に言うのはもう少しだけ待っててもらえないかな
So, could I ask you to wait a while before telling the school? Eh? He had no reaction to that. Having turned my head away in embarrassment, I mustered the courage to look back at Totokun and found him staring blankly with his eyes wide open. Totokun?
Nani?
What is it? No, that was my line.
そうじゃないの
Wasn't that what it was?
私のアルバイトのこと注意しに来たのかなって
Didn't you come here to warn me about my part-time job? Totokun quickly shook his head and denied it. Well then, why? I don't understand. Why is he here? My heart was beating fast, my legs were losing their strength, and my body trembled relentlessly. If this continued, I wouldn't be able to stand straight. In fact, I felt my vision swirling like I was going to faint right here. What should I do? What should I do?
Kimiyoshi.
Kimiyoshi.
私
Huh? I
行かなくちゃ
I have to go. Trying to escape from this enchanting spell, I quickly turned on my heel to leave the classroom, and for some reason Totokun grabbed my hand and held it tightly. Huh? Totokun's hand was warm and it felt reassuring, but I couldn't look back. My mind went blank and I stood there frozen in place. After a while, Totokun's fingers left mine. Then...
Kimiyoshi.
Kimiyoshi. Huh?
はい
Yes.
さ、
Well...
君吉は好きな映画とかあるかな
Kimiyoshi, do you have a favorite movie or something like that? Huh? The question was unexpected, so I gaped at him, unable to conjure a reply. As I slowly turned around, I saw Totokun's blushing face as he fumbled awkwardly with his right hand outstretched in midair, murmuring something with his eyes downcast.
トドか
Toto-kun?
君吉
Kimiyoshi. And then he looked up at me as if he'd resolved himself, and mustered his courage and carefully chose his words.
知りたいんだ
I want to know.
君吉の全てが知りたいんだ
I want to know everything about you.
え
Huh?
君吉の好きなもの
I want to know the things you like,
俺も好きになりたいから
because I want to start liking them too. Oh, that's sweet. Good job, Akira Toto's Africa. The things I like. But if by things he means people, then that would be Totokun. No, he's just saying the things you like. Whatever. Don't be weird. Natsumi, get it together. Snap back to reality. I desperately suppressed the warmth overflowing from within my chest. I wanted to tell him how I felt, but could I really? Won't I give him a bad shock if I tell him out of the blue? I took a deep breath and, summoning my courage, I looked up at Totokun, but the words still wouldn't come out. Why was it so difficult to say something so obvious? And just like that, right when I started to feel depressed...
君吉
Kimiyoshi. Huh?
はい
Yes?
転校してきた時から
Ever since you transferred here,
ずっと気になってた
you were always on my mind. Damn. Oh, to be told that by someone you're pining after. What a feeling that must be. I wouldn't know.
今まで勇気が持てなかったけど
Until now, I didn't have the courage to tell you, but... Oh, what if this is like an Until Dawn type situation? What if this is a prank? It's just a prank, Hannah! What if, like, he's being put up to this by someone? Until now, I didn't have the courage. There's an Until Dawn reference. There you go. Anyone else who's played that or watched that. Until now, I didn't have the courage to tell you, but I was about to watch the Until Dawn movie that came out a little while ago. Just out of curiosity, I've heard it was pretty bad. But if one thing, I hope they brought the line that says, it was just a prank, Hannah. Back to it. Until now, I didn't have the courage to tell you, but after saying that, Totokun glanced upwards and stood up straight.
俺は
I
君吉のことが好きだ
love you, Kimiyoshi. Damn. Huh? I couldn't believe my ears. Totokun said he loved me? All the clocks in the world came to a halt. It became an empty space, like everyone else had disappeared. In my eyes, all I could see was Totokun. No one else.
それでできれば君吉にも
And so, if it's possible,
その好きになってもらえたらって
I'd like it if you felt the same. After hearing his unexpected confession, I could only stand still, unable to find the words to respond. If I can't think of anything to say, I should at least be able to nod, but I couldn't even manage that. Because for me, this moment was unbelievable. Totokun was becoming uneasy. He nervously ran his fingers through his hair and folded his arms, impatiently waiting for my answer. I searched through the deepest feelings in my heart as I gazed at Totokun, going over the words, rephrasing them over and over again. I like you too, Totokun. I love you. Those were the words I've always wanted to tell him. A confession that would make me happy beyond belief, even if I could only tell him in my dreams. Nevertheless, the words that finally left my mouth were,
私はハッピーエンドの話が好き
I like stories with happy endings.
でその
So that, that was all I could do. Totokun and I were standing face to face, so close that we could hear each other breathing, a moment I've always dreamed of. It was enough to make my heart burst with joy, and the rest I couldn't express with just words.
返事はいつでもいいから。
You don't have to reply until you're ready.
その
So,
待ってる。
I'll be waiting.
それじゃ
Alright then. Yeah. Oh, Natsumi, you blew it! God. Totokun and I parted with an awkward greeting. Maybe he was embarrassed, I thought, as I watched Totokun hastily retreating from the room, dissolving the tension that enveloped us. My legs gave way and I crouched down on the spot. This isn't a dream, is it? This is really happening right now, isn't it? I love Totokun, and Totokun loves me too. I never thought I'd be blessed with such a miraculous coincidence. The first love of my life. If that person is Totokun, I can step forward without fear. I'm sure I can withstand anything to protect this love. I'm so happy. Could this be the happiest I've ever been? Without thinking, a smile escaped my mouth. When I touched it, my hand was still trembling, unable to hold it in. I made to leave the classroom with a full smile on my face. I'm so ready for Chisato to be like looking like peering from behind like a corner or a window or under a desk or something, seeing this whole exchange and getting jealous. But then, I could see a silhouette transfixed at the door of the classroom. Oh my god! I called it! As I approached, thinking about who it could be, I saw it was Chisato-chan, who swiftly turned around and faced me.
千里ちゃん
Chisato-chan? Uh-oh. Oh shit, is it really gonna be this? Is it really gonna be like this? Oh. Chisato-chan held a paper bag from the store in her hand, probably full of stationery. But why? Chisato-chan was clutching the bag so tightly it was crumpling, staring at me motionlessly with a gaze that pierced through my heart.
遅くなったね。
I'm sorry I'm late.
結構待った。
Did I keep you waiting? No. I tried to examine her expression, fearfully peeking at her. However, Chisato-chan abruptly turned away, breaking her eye contact with me. This may have been the first rejection Chisato-chan had ever shown me. It was so unexpected, the shock left me paralyzed.
千里ちゃん
Chisato-chan?
どうしたの
What's wrong?
ねえ、夏美。
Hey, Natsumi?
さっき、誰かここにいた？
Just now. Was there someone here? Huh?
いたよね。
Wasn't there someone here?
なんで
Why?
いたよね。
Wasn't there someone?
いたでしょ？
There was someone, right?
ここに。
Just
さっき、
just earlier.
アキラ、いたでしょ？
Akira was here, right? A strange aura emanated from Chisato-chan's entire body. My breath suddenly caught in my throat as I involuntarily stiffened. Stifling a smile, she let out a low laugh. Even though she should have been laughing, Chisato-chan's hands were clenched tightly as her pale blood vessels stood out.
こそこそこそこ
Sneaky, sneaky.
そ。なんで隠すの？
Why are you hiding it?
ね
Huh?
別に隠すなんて何も
It's not like I have anything to hide.
え、隠したって無駄なのにさ。
You know hiding it is useless. Excuse me. The sneeze ruined the laughing.
千里ちゃん
Chisato-chan?
私、
Did you really think
知らないと思ってた。
I wouldn't know?
何を
What are you talking about? Chisato-chan's shoulders began to quiver.
夏美、
Natsumi,
好きな人いるよね。
there's someone you like, isn't there?
うん
Yeah? Chisato-chan's shoulders continued to tremble more and more. She clenched her fist even tighter to ease the shaking. I could see Chisato-chan's fingernails digging into her palms deep enough to draw blood. A shiver ran down my spine as my hair stood on end.
誰
Who?
そいつってね
Who is it, huh?
それは
It is... That's a secret. Why should I have to tell you, Chisato-chan? Those words turned over and over, spinning around in my head. But I couldn't say it. I couldn't bring myself to speak up when faced with Chisato-chan's daunting aura. So, I...
東堂くんだよ。
Todo-kun.
東堂明くん。
Akira Todo-kun.
黙っててごめんね。
I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
私ずっと前から憧れていたんだけど。
I felt this way for a long time.
でも絶対無理だって思ってたから。
But I never thought anything would come of it, so...
隠してたんじゃないよ。
I wasn't trying to hide it.
本当いつか言おうと思ってた。
Really, I thought of telling you someday. I reached out to touch Chisato-chan's shoulder, but just then she vigorously spun around. Simultaneously, my hand was shrugged off and left suspended like it was floating in the air. My right hand was slowly starting to turn reddish. Chisato-chan looked down at it as if it were something dirty.
千里ちゃん。
Chisato-chan...
で
Why? As she spat those words out, Chisato-chan tightly clenched her teeth and coldly gazed at me, her face warped with rage. Chisato-chan, why? This is different from usual. Am I mistaken, or... The paper bag in Chisato-chan's hand made an unpleasant crinkling sound. Again, why this sound?
千里ちゃん
Chisato-chan,
怒ってる。
are you angry?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
別に千里ちゃんに隠し事するつもりはなかったんだよ。
I didn't mean to hide it from you, you know?
ただね。
It's just, you know...
夏美
Natsumi? Interrupting my speech, Chisato-chan gripped my shoulders.
さっきアキラが来て
So, Akira was here a little while ago,
好きだって
and he said he loved you? With Chisato-chan's sharp eyes cutting into me, I slowly nodded without being able to speak. And then... She's becoming the Joker. Chisato-chan bent her upper body back with a shrill sound of laughter. As if she was spasming, Chisato-chan's face warped into a smile. Ooh, my legs were frozen in my confusion. I put a trembling hand on the desk to keep myself from collapsing.
この野郎
You little... However, after a bout of laughter, Chisato-chan's expression and mood took a heel turn. She jumped on me, hugging me tightly. Timidly, I slowly raised my head. I looked up and saw Chisato-chan's usual cheerful, bright, smiling face.
もうなんで黙ってたのよ
Sheesh, why didn't you tell me?
そういう話は早く言えっての
Speak up sooner about that stuff, why don't you?
千里ちゃん。
Chisato-chan?
この幸せ者が
You lucky dog.
だいたい私に言ってりゃもっと早くハッピーになってたのにさ
I would have been even happier if you told me earlier, though.
夏美遠慮しすぎ
Asumi, don't be so shy.
ごめんね。
Sorry.
千里ちゃん、東堂くんのことよく知ってるし、恥ずかしくて。
Chisato-chan, you've known Todo-kun for a long time, so I was embarrassed.
知ってるからこそでしょうが
It's exactly because I've known him for a long time.
アキラのことなら何でも知ってるんだから私にまず相談しなさいっての
I know everything about Akira, so you should have come to me first.
あんなことからこんなことまでいくらだって教えてあげられるんだからね
I could tell you all sorts of things about him, you know? Chisato-chan shrugged playfully.
私までワクワクしてきた
Hey, I'm getting excited.
私に任せなさい
Leave everything to me. I'm gonna say no shot that she isn't actually pissed and jealous.
絶対カップル成立させてみせるから。
I'll definitely make you a couple.
ちょっと待ってよ。
Wait a minute.
千里ちゃん気が早すぎる。
Chisato-chan, this is going too fast.
何弱気なこと言ってんの。
What a pathetic thing to say.
恋はサバイバル。
Love is like survival.
先手必勝。
Whoever makes the first move wins.
急がばずんずん前進あるのみだ。
If you hurry, you'll only advance faster. Ignoring my desperate efforts to hold her back, Chisato-chan skipped ahead on nimble feet with her arms still wrapped around my shoulders.
やったね。
I did it, you know?
実はタマコと二人で賭けしてたの。
Actually, Tamako and I had a bet amongst ourselves
夏美がアキラに惚れてるんじゃないかって。
about if you fall for Akira.
で、私の勝ち。
And I won.
あ、いや、ドローか。
Or maybe it's actually a draw. Huh?
たまこちゃんも知ってたの？
Tamako-chan knew too?
当たり前でしょ。
Damn straight she did.
初めて会った時に私たちが気づかなかったとでも思ってたの？
Since we first met, you thought we hadn't noticed?
タマコと二人でいつ打ち明けてくれるか待ってたんだからね。
Tamako and I have been waiting for you to tell us.
ごめんね、言い出せなくて。
Sorry, I couldn't say it. Chisato playfully tapped my forehead, then gently pressed her head against mine.
もう謝るのはなし。
No more apologies.
それに隠し事はなし。
In fact, no more secrets between us.
いい？
How's that? Yeah,
ありがとう、千里ちゃん。
thanks, Chisato-chan.
まあ、私もアキラが相手で
Well,
嬉しいよ。
I'm also glad that it's Akira.
どうして？
Huh? Why?
だってどこの馬の骨ともわかんないようなやつに夏美取られるなんて考えただけでもゾッとするしさ。
Because it's frightening to think that it's frightening to think that some nobody would take you. Just imagining it makes me shiver.
まあちょっとボケボケなとこあるけど、アキラならよかったなってさ。
Well, he can be a bit of a dum-dum, but Akira's a great guy. Chisato-chan clutched me tightly and flashed me a wide grin. Thank goodness. I'm sure I must have been misinterpreting her attitude just now. Oh yeah, just misinterpreting, nothing wrong, nothing bad happening. Yep, uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. Because my friends are very kind people. I'm truly happy that I met Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan. Glad I moved away from Okinomiya. I grasped Chisato-chan's hand as though I was taking hold of my happiness. Chisato-chan roughly stroked my head and took my hand in hers as she broke into a run.
そんじゃパーッと行くぞ。
Well then, let's get going already. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nothing bad will happen here. Everything is A-okay. Jealousy? What jealousy? What does jealousy even mean? Okay. I apologize. It's already late. I have to call it there. I promise. This is a guaranteed Austin promise. We will read so much on Saturday. So much. I will hopefully wake up early enough tomorrow. Not tomorrow. On Saturday. And we will sit and we will read a large chunk of this. And we will progress impossibly far. That's the plan. That's the plan. Sticking to it. As far as other streams go, tomorrow, Wednesday, should be Pokemon Legends Arceus. We're continuing that Dex building, post-game in that. Then Friday, speaking of post-game, we'll do a Clair Obscure after finale stream, post-game. See what there is to poke around, see what we can do. Kind of largely determine if there's going to be more than one of those like post-game streams for Clair Obscure. That'll be Friday. Depending on how that goes, either for that whole night or obviously for future streams as well. And then, like I said, Saturday, we'll read a lot of Higurashi here. I'm actually really curious about this. I think I'm down to read, again, new characters, new drama, jealousy of love, triangle, I guess, technically. Potentially. Causing a problem. Chisato having a pretty strong and dominant attitude. She seems like she's got a couple of loose bits in her. I think it's gonna be fun. But that'll be Saturday. Extended weekend coming up here as well. So we might have an extra Monday day thing going on, but I haven't determined that yet. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me read it to you, as always. I'll be back tomorrow. Pokemon. We'll get it set up. We'll do that. Until then.